Tonight on Sports Paws, men's ice hockey went up to Lake Placid for the ECAC playoffs, and a women's ice hockey player makes the transition from the ice to the turf. And also, the NCAA Women's Frozen Four came to Hamden this weekend. We'll show you how it all unfolded coming up on Sports Paws.
Hello and welcome to Sports Paws. I'm John Alba alongside Joey Zocco. And Joey, March Madness, it's in full effect.
And the NCAA tournament has been nothing short of fantastic, John. But the madness goes beyond the hardwood. In fact, it stretches to the ice.
That's right. The Bobcats men's ice hockey team is going dancing, and a national champion has been crowned in Hamden.
Sports Paws starts right now.
The ECAC has been far from a cakewalk for any of its teams this season. 4 were left standing headed into Friday's semifinals matchups at Herb Brooks Arena in Lake Placid. On one side, Cornell and regular season champion Union, and on the other, Colgate and Quinnipiac. We all know, as Brooks tells us in the 2004 movie Miracle, that great moments are born from great opportunity. And Joey, opportunity cashed in this weekend. Take it away.
And we have the number 5 Bobcats and the number 14 Colgate Raiders at the Herb Brooks Arena in Lake Placid. We're going to pick it up 0-0 through one period, so let's go to the second. There's going to be a little twin connection here. Kellen to Connor Jones, all the way down, past goalie Charlie Finn, 1-0 Quinnipiac. And still in the second, Bobcats on the power play. It's Sam Annis from Pekka, puts the Bobcats up 2-0. Minutes later, Colgate's going to answer, though. It's Andrew Black from the red line, off Gartig and in. Colgate cuts it to 2-1. Let's go to the third. Kyle Bond here for the rebound, past Gartig, and it's good. Late in the third, Colgate ties it up. We're going to head to overtime. Quinnipiac is 0-6 in their overtimes. They've tied in all of them, but they can't tie in this one. That was Annis and Kevin Lowe with a shot, and now we're going to move to the second overtime. No one scored. Tyler Spink, 50 seconds in, past Gartig, and just like that, the Bobcats are eliminated from the ECAC tournament. Colgate moves on. Colgate outshot Quinnipiac 36-32 in the game, and here's Quinnipiac's captain Corey Hibbler and head coach Rand Pecknold.
No, I felt like we played a lot better this year. Made a couple mistakes that cost us and missed some opportunities, and that's something that we'll have to live with. We're obviously disappointed, but time to move on and start looking towards next weekend.
Disappointed. I thought we played great tonight. We had at least 4, if not 5 breakaways, and we scored 1 goal off it. That's a credit to Finn. He made saves when he needed to. And we just made a couple mistakes that Colgate capitalized on. We're up 2-0, and that goal, we mishandled the puck behind the net. I don't know if it's the worst goal we've got up this year, but it might be. And you can't do that if you want to win championships.
Colgate advanced to the ECAC championship game, where it would take on the Union College Dutchmen. Union would halt Colgate's ECAC tournament run by beating the Raiders 5-2. Colgate dominated the first period, outshooting Union 16-5, but couldn't score. Union would score 4 straight goals after a scoreless first period and would never look back on their way to their 3rd straight ECAC title.
So Union takes the ECAC and a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The team heads to Bridgeport to face Vermont, while number 2 Quinnipiac will also stay in state to take on Providence. Minnesota, Boston College, and Wisconsin round out the number 1 seeds in the bracket, and the winner of the Bridgeport Regional will get the Worcester Regional winner at the Frozen Four in Philadelphia. Let's now send it to our panel to break down the upcoming tournament.
Thanks, John. And now we're going to kick it over to our hockey analysts. Today we have Rob Siammer, Mark Spillane, and Arthur Lane. Guys, how you doing today?
Great.
Just great, huh? It's always great. Can't complain.
Doing all right.
There we go. So we're going to start it off with a quick recap of what happened this weekend in the ECAC playoffs. The Bobcats lost in the semifinals again, like they did last year, to Brown, to the Colgate Raiders by a score of 3-2. The loss came in double overtime, and they allowed that game-time goal with under a minute left in the third period. So we'll start it off with you, Rob. What are your recap after this weekend?
Well, the Raiders pulled the goal. They had 6-on-5. The way it looked like from the highlights that I saw, the Bobcats really did not do well defensively. They were more or less like trying to chase the puck around instead of staying home defensively, just forming that box +1 and protecting Michael Gartig. And that's what happened. And the Raiders got that goal to tie the game up. Bobcats are really I want to say, I guess, aggressive when they play defense. That was a time where they needed to sort of stay still and just get in the passing and shooting lanes, and they didn't do that.
It's been the same old story with them throughout the year with a lot of the young defensemen. The way they lose games is the way they lost that game to Colgate, where there's a loose puck in front right when it needs to be cleared, and it's not, and the sticks are not lifted, and one of the forwards for the other teams gets the stick on the puck and pushes it past Gartig. It's the same old thing, and we say week after week, they need to correct this, they need to correct this. They haven't done it yet. There's still time, but it's the same old story.
Yeah, I want to go back to the first goal that the Bobcats let in when there's miscommunication behind the goal between Gartig and Derek Smith. Another thing, where a miscommunication happens and the other team capitalizes on it, and that's something that we've seen a ton throughout the year. Whenever the Bobcats make a mistake, they usually aren't bailed out, and that happened again on Friday night. And I think that goal, while it brought it from 2-1, I think that really set the tone for the rest of the game. When you have something like that happen, you just kind of hang your heads because you guys messed up. And I think that just carried on. But I don't want to take too much away from them. They played a strong defensive game overall. But, like Rob pointed out, last minute. And, it seems that happens every once in a while to this team as well.
I mean, It definitely was a better game than last year against Brown. You could tell this was a different team than last year in the ECAC playoffs.
Yeah, you mentioned how they played a strong defensive game, but it'd be interesting to see how they don't key in on, especially the key players. Tyson Spink was one of the key players, if not the best player for Colgate, besides Charlie Finn and goal. And he scored the game winner with, I think, around 2 seconds in the slot with the puck on his stick. Even though it was off a rebound, they still shouldn't let someone like that caliber get that much open space. And like you said, Mark, they can't pick up sticks, and they can't really do that in front of the crease where it really matters, and that's when it came, especially with that tying goal. So coming from a game like this, is there any second guesses you have from this team going into the NCAA tournament?
They're just so inexperienced. Last year, they were not. You really weren't worried about this team making mistakes. And when they did make mistakes, they bounced back very, very well. This year, they, however, have not done that. What they've done is they'll make a mistake, and then, like Artie said, they hang their head. And then they make more mistakes, and it just compounds itself. It just becomes a snowball, and it just rolls downhill, and things get worse. So the fact that they're that inexperienced has to cause some concern, and the fact that they only went 1 for 6 on the power play in that game also has to cause some concern as well, because that means that they got a lot of opportunities but didn't take advantage of them, and that simply cannot happen in the NCAA tournament.
I agree with you. You look at the body language of Derek Smith after that first goal, you can just tell the Bobcats slowly after that were going to unravel a little bit. And after seeing his body language, I'm just like, oh no, what's to come of this team now? How's Colgate going to react to this?
I think it's hard to not question the team at this point going into the NCAA tournament just because they didn't play well. But let's think about last year as well. I know that this is a less experienced team, but they got ran out of Atlantic City against Brown and then bounced back. Now, Canisius controlled late in the game, but then you have a run, and then the next night against Union, they completely blew the door off the wall. So I think that there is some concern, but I think that they'll come out on Friday and play very well. So I'm not on a level of 1 to 10. I'm not up in the 7s. I'm more down 4 area with a level of concern, because I still believe this team is a great team, and I think that they can get it done when it counts. But when you have these big games that they unravel at the last couple minutes, then that obviously causes some concern for me.
Be sure to check out the full panel discussion of the men's hockey team on our website, q30television.com. Coming up on Sports Paws, we recap all the women's Frozen Four action from this weekend that took place at the TD Bank Sports Center. We also talk Quinnipiac Lacrosse and tell you which player was named Defensive Player of the Week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now. Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
It was more than a year and a half ago that Quinnipiac was granted the 2014 NCAA Women's Ice Hockey Frozen Four at HighPoint Solutions Arena. Minnesota, Clarkson, Wisconsin, and yes, even the Lakers of Mercyhurst flocked to Hamden to witness the Queen of Queens be crowned at the TD Bank Sports Center. We'll get things started with the first semifinal matchup between powerhouses Minnesota and Wisconsin. So we head on up to the TD Bank Sports Center. Minnesota and Wisconsin, they've faced off 4 times already this year. Minnesota won all of them. We head on to the first period. Brittany Ammerman of Wisconsin skates into the offensive zone, gets it past the stick of Amanda Levier, and Wisconsin goes up 1-0 into the second period now. Danny Cameronese picks up the puck, takes a shot at Alex Rigsby. The puck goes off, but Kelly Terry's there to rebound it. We are tied up at 1. But moments later, Hannah Brand tries to take a shot. It's saved, and Marianne Menifee is able to find the net. And look at the Golden Gophers go. They're up 2-1. Not that much longer after. Come on, this is playoff hockey, guys. Wisconsin, the turnover, turning defense into offense. The goal by Katie Josephs ties the game at 2. And then in the final moments of the second, Sylvester, she's going to take the puck and beat Levier once more. Badgers, they're up 3-2, trying to take down them Golden Gophers, but no, they will not go away. Minnesota power play. They're going to get the puck over to McMillan, to Hannah Brandt, who puts it in. We're tied at 3, and later on in the third, Rachel Bonner goes into the zone, makes a couple nice moves, and Bonner gets the puck past Rigsby. Gophers take the 4-3 lead. And in the final minutes of the third period, Hannah Brandt passes the puck back to Bailey Gillanders, and Gillanders is going to score that one. 5-3 is your score. The Golden Gophers, they're heading to the NCAA championship game. Here's more from Coach Mark Johnson and Rachel Bonner.
They figured out a way to score a game-winning goal in the last 6 minutes, 8 minutes. Today, was a little bit more time, but it wasn't due from a lack of effort. I was very proud of the way our team played, and I thought we played a very good game. But in this setting, it wasn't good enough.
On Sunday, I'll be playing for my 3rd in 3 years, and me and Sarah Davis were talking about it in the locker room, and it's unbelievable that we're here again and that we got through this game, and now we're headed to our 3rd national title game. And to win it, I don't know. I can't even imagine what it'll feel like.
And in game 2 of our semifinal, Mercyhurst, the Lakers, as John said, against the Clarkson Knights. The winner is going to get Minnesota. Let's pick it up in the first period. Jacqueline Arbor is going to take a shot here. She's going to get her own rebound and put it past Erica Howe. Mercyhurst takes a 1-0 lead. And let's go into the second period now. Renata Fass is going to get the puck at the point, take a shot, and put it past Amanda Michaela to tie the game at 1. Clarkson gets on the board, and they weren't done. Here comes Vanessa Gagnon. The diving play can be played behind. Here comes the goalie. Vanessa Gagnon, as I said, diving and getting it past past the goalkeeper. 2-1. And here comes Christina Lambert. Again, Clarkson, I don't know how that got by, but Clarkson's up 3-1, 3 goals in the second, and we're going to pick it up in the third. More Clarkson. Brittany Steiner on the breakaway, the 2-on-1, past Michaela, 4-1 Clarkson, and things were just all going their way, and this was the ending, a centering pass on the empty net. That's Shannon McCauley. 5-1 Clarkson. Clarkson outshot Mercyhurst 35-19, and they're going to move on to face Minnesota. Here's Vanessa Gagnon and Mercyhurst head coach Michael Sisti after the game.
I mean, we're going to appreciate what we've done, but our main goal is not done yet, so we're looking ahead of us, and we got a big game coming up, and we're not backing down. It's not because it's Minnesota that we're not going to be aggressive, and we're going to be even more into it, and they're gonna get a hell of a good game.
Tonight wasn't one of our best efforts, and I think part of that is because of how well Clarkson played. And we looked like a young team today, and we fired at times, and I think, again, a lot of it had to do with how well Clarkson played.
Golden Knights, Golden Gophers, the gold on the line. Come on, I had to get that one in there. First period right away, halfway through, Sarah Davis gets the puck off the faceoff. She puts it in for the Golden Gophers. Just like that, Minnesota's already up 1-0, but in the waning minutes of the first, Clarkson then strikes. Shelly Nesbitt tips the rebound past Levier. And, well, the game is tied at 1. Check that was Christine Lambert. I jumped the gun on that because now later on, Nesbitt's going to put that one past Levier, and it's 2-1 Clarkson. So Clarkson now has the advantage heading into the second period. Brittany Steiner sends a shot towards the goal, picked up, and, well, she's one of the best in the nation. Jamie Lee Rattray. Rattray gets the puck past Levier. It's 3-1 Clarkson. Not long after that, Hannah Brandt puts the puck in. It's 3-2. And, Joey, we got ourselves quite a national championship game here. Golden Gophers trying to climb back in this one. And Rachel Bana does just that, tips the puck in. We're tied at 3. And now we're going to have to head to the third period. We're going to have to separate the ladies from the girls now. Vanessa Gagnon sends the puck to Vanessa Plant. Plant rifles one pass. Off the shot, it's in. And it's 4-3 Clarkson. HighPoint Solutions Arena explodes. And later on in the third period, though, Clarkson trying to ice it. The one-on-one. Macaulay. Lord have mercy, I keep saying that. It's 5-3 Clarkson. Golden Gophers trying to come back. This puck gets sent around, tipped in by Bailey Gillanders. It's 5-4 Minnesota. But Joey, that would not be enough. There are national champions at HighPoint Solutions Arena. Clarkson picking up the first ever national championship in school history, upsetting the Golden Gophers. Just their second loss of the season. Let's head it for some post-game reaction.
No one wanted it more than us. Honestly, we've been wanting this all year, and we worked so hard for it. And for these seniors, I mean, they're unbelievable, and we're going to be missed, but we wanted to do it for them too. Like Carly said, she started off playing with Minnesota and ended with them, and we all knew that. We wanted to win it for them. They're a great group, and it's just unreal.
Now for some lacrosse news. Senior goalie Gil Connors has been named MAC Defensive Player of the Week for the second time this season. Connors made a total of 26 saves over the past 2 games for the Bobcats and saved about 2/3 of the shots he faced during the week. His save percentage is currently the best in the nation.
The MAC was inviting towards Connors, but not as much towards the Bobcats. Maris dropped 7 goals in the fourth quarter to defeat Quinnipiac 13-8 Saturday, giving the Bobcats their first conference loss. The Red Foxes outscored the Bobcats 7-2 in the final frame, one that saw 3 consecutive goals from junior Colin Joka. Connors made 16 saves on 29 shots, and Quinnipiac now heads to Detroit next weekend.
From men's to women's lacrosse, the Bobcats have yet to win a game this season and are coming off a 19-10 loss at home to Vermont on March 12th. Quinnipiac was looking to get its first win against former Northeast Conference foe Bryant in Hamden on Thursday. And as I said, Bobcats looking for their first win. The Bryant Bulldogs come to town, and you might recognize this familiar face here. She's not on the wrong team. She's playing lacrosse now. Kelly Babstock, more on her later. We got the counter up, and that's never a good thing when Bryant has the ball. They're going to score 8 straight goals and in the first 14.5 minutes, and the Bobcats are going to be down early. Bryant's Lauren Descalzo scored 3 of Bryant's 8 goals in that run, and Coach Danny Caro called a timeout. Coach, what happened?
After going down a couple of goals early, we just started to get really antsy whenever we did get the ball in attack. We killed ourselves with turnovers.
And Bryant led 14-2 at the half, and here she is, Kelly Babstock making her debut. And she's going to assist on this one to Michaela Tinsley, putting the Bobcats down 17-4. She can do it all. Babstock, and here she's going to score, get her first goal on her first shot, fake the pass, and put it past the goalkeeper. Bobcats down 17-5. Babstock finished with 1 goal and 1 assist, as you saw. Game would end 18-5 Bryant. And here is head coach Caro's thoughts after the game.
Well, I think we were very undisciplined today. We prepared a lot for this game, and specifically for what we expected Bryant to do. We knew they're a good team, and we knew exactly what they were going to do. We had what I thought was a good game plan to stop it, but we forgot the game plan and we failed to execute. We just haven't had that will to win that we really need to be competitive. I don't think it's a skill issue by any stretch. It's about playing together as a team and refusing to lose, and we just don't have that killer instinct right now, and God help us, we need to find it before our MAC season starts.
To talk more about this women's lacrosse team, we bring in Arthur Bailin. Arthur, thanks for joining us today, and let's get right down to business here. This was a rough outing for this Bobcats team, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a very difficult game for this Bobcats team. One thing that really stood out to me was how poorly the defense played. I believe Coach Carroll actually said it in the video just then. The team had a game plan, and they forgot it. And I think that really exemplifies the problem. It was as if they had never seen Brian play before. And that it just, they didn't seem prepared, John. And that really kind of manifested itself, especially because they were outdrawn in the first half, 13-4, and when you lose that many draw controls, that means you really can't control the tempo of play, and if your defense can make a stop, that means you're going to go down very quickly.
Well, there was one bright spot, at least, for Quinnipiac, and that was Kelly Babstock making the transition from ice hockey to lacrosse. Obviously, there's a history there for her.
Yeah.
Is she an important part of this squad, much more so than people expect? Because obviously, it's not easy to make that transition from sport to sport, but she might be a savior for this team.
Well, John, to be perfectly frank, I think it's a little bit too early to say she's a savior, but she's a very important factor in this team. And the reason for that is not only is she a goal scorer, but she's a playmaker. And it's important to distinguish the two. A goal scorer can score goals. A playmaker can set up players to score goals. So she is a dual threat. Once she gets the ball in her stick, big things can happen. So she's definitely going to be a force in these games coming up.
And then let's just take it down the stretch here. Quinnipiac, it doesn't get all that much easier for them as it goes forward.
No, it doesn't. A couple games I have circled on my calendar is the game against Fairfield, the game against Canisius, the game against Marist. 3 quality opponents coming up in conference, John, and those are 3 opponents that are very dangerous, very solid programs. If Quinnipiac turns in an effort like they did against Bryant, it's going to be a long season for them.
Right.
But this team is capable of doing well, I think.
All right, well, Arthur, thanks so much for the analysis. Up next, both Quinnipiac basketball teams found themselves in national tournaments despite falling in the MAC. We'll find out how they did and also check in on some other spring sports action as well. Make sure you don't go away. Sports Paws. We'll be right back.
The Bobcat Shop, located at 1010 Sherman Avenue in Hamden. Your #1 choice for Bobcat merchandise. The Bobcat Shop features 2 floors of countless styles and colors. With a full 19,000 square foot screen printing and embroidery operation on the premises, Campus Customs and Simplify can design and decorate any garment or promotional product as quickly as needed. Stop in and say hi.
I could really go for a Ray and Mike sub right now.
Come to Ray and Mike's and try our Philly chicken with cheese for just over $4, giant cheesesteak subs, and mouth-watering boar's head sandwiches for as low as $4.75. Q-Cash accepted just a mile down the road on Whitney, here at Ray and Mike's.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. I'm John Alba. Major League Baseball got underway down under this past week. I'm just happy Yasiel Puig's back. But the MAC action has been ongoing here in the United States. Quinnipiac took 2 of 3 against Manhattan, good for the team's first wins in the new conference. Thomas Jenkins tossed 8 innings of 10 strikeout ball in Game 1 of a doubleheader on Saturday, a game Quinnipiac took 4-0. Game 2 saw outfielder Mike Palladino drive in a run off a bases-loaded single to give the Bobcats a walk-off 5-4 win in the 9th inning, the team's 4th W overall. Manhattan, though, would take Sunday's matchup 9-0.
The softball team was not as successful this weekend as the Bobcats lost both games of their doubleheader on Saturday. Quinnipiac lost their first game of the Tiger Invitational to Towson 13-5, followed by a 3-1 loss to Wagner. The Bobcats came back on Sunday and defeated Towson 2-1 before losing 9-7 to Wagner to end the weekend. Quinnipiac's next game is here in Hamden on Thursday against UConn.
And Tom Moore's men's basketball squad managed itself a bid in the CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament following a loss in the MAC semifinals versus Manhattan. Standing in Quinnipiac's path was a familiar hockey foe, Yale. And though many are used to the action on the ice being of nail-biting proportions, this was no exception either. Now all the ice melted, so we had to send our correspondent to swim on over there. Tom Albanese, thanks for that. But anyway, we got these action shots for you. We start off here. Ike Azatam, could be his last game ever. We head into the first half. Matt Townsend's got the ball. He sends it over to Javier Duran, shoots the ball, nails a 3-pointer. Yale's got an early lead to start. Yale looking to continue on that momentum, but Quinnipiac says no, not today. Kasim Chandler steals the pass, dribbles it up outside the other end of the court, dishes out to Zaid Hurst, pump fakes, drives toward the hoop, and slams it home. Oh, Zaid Hurst, rock that room. Quinnipiac would take it into the locker room tied at 32 with Yale. Not long after, Kasim Chandler over to Evan Conti for 3. Evan Conti sinks it. He finished the game with a team-high 17 points. With just under 4 minutes left, Quinnipiac up 63-57. The shot from the side by Duran is nailed. Another 3 for the Bulldogs. Yale cuts it to 63-60. And there's a big offensive foul on Shaq Shine, sending the action the other way. Jack Montague takes a 1 dribble, nails the 3. Game is tied at 63. Kasim Chandler now to the line. Sinks 1 of 2 free throws, so Quinnipiac's only up 68-66. Justin Sears, be the hero. He called bank, I saw it. And Yale pulls off what could be something magnificent, but Quinnipiac's got one last chance. Ike Azatem, the Hail Mary. No Christian Leitner today either. Sears takes it away, and Yale takes down the Bobcats. Tom Moore's squad, dejected. Your final score, 69-68. We send it to Tom Moore.
Disappointed in the number of mental mistakes we made tonight throughout the game. Early, middle, late. We made a ton of mental mistakes. I thought at times we looked physically tired. 2 reasons. I think we didn't come back, have enough time. I think when we came back to probably get our conditioning to where it was, and I lost a lot of faith in our bench in the last probably 2-3 weeks.
The Quinnipiac women's basketball team lost in the first round of the Women's National Invitation Tournament to Villanova last Wednesday night, 74-66. With the loss, the Bobcats end their season with a 21-13 record. Senior forward Brittany McQuain finished with 19 points and 7 rebounds in her final Quinnipiac game.
And meanwhile, on the other court, the men's tennis team continues to struggle. Now losers of 5 consecutive matchups. The team dropped to both MAC rival Fairfield and Bryant 6-1 and 5-2 respectively this past week. At the same time, women's tennis lost its first home match of the season to Bryant 4-3 and also fell to Seton Hall 6-1. But Mike Quitko's team did manage to escape with a win earlier in the week against Fairfield, meaning regardless of its 3-9 overall record, it's 2-0 in conference play. And Joey, I can say it's been great returning to the desk. It's been a while since I've been here, but that's all we've got today.
We'll be back next week with a look at how Quinnipiac performed in the NCAA Tournament, and we'll see if a Frozen Four bid is in their future.
Well, you know where to find us on Twitter at Q30Sports and at my favorite website, Q30television.com.
That's John Alba. I'm Joey Zocco. We'll see you next time.